Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your monthly forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's so good to see everybody. Before we get started, I always like to remind you can use this for sun, rising, and moon, and this is also going to help you with the next 6 to 8 weeks. Let's talk about channeled messages. In dreams this morning, I was actually shown a celebration, which is always a good sign. We could connect this with like Three of Cups energy. And I was shown a space, like +1. So it does feel like someone new is coming into your life. This could be someone that you meet at one of those connections, one of those parties, one of those gatherings. So the first message here is don't be afraid to accept an invitation somewhere. It feels like this could be a very good opportunity for networking, for friendship, for having fun. And I see someone new coming in a significant sort of bridging partnership role. So whether that is business or friendship or more, pretty auspicious, and I only highlight that if I see it. The other thing that was coming through, and it was kind of curious, was attention to the attire. And I don't put a lot of weight into what people are wearing because I feel like this entire body is just sort of like a vehicle that we use to drive through this lifetime. But sometimes appearances matter. For instance, an interview. If there's a first impression that you need to make in a positive way, I think it is important to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward in every possible way, from preparation to rest to, yes, how you're presenting yourself. So this is basically spirit saying that all things being equal, if there is something like an interview or some sort of an informal meeting, that extra step, that little attention to detail could be the thing that pushes you to the top. So don't be afraid, especially if it's been a while since you've upgraded the wardrobe or done something of that nature. This is the time where it's important. So I did get an indication there, and again, I'm just sharing that with you. The other thing that I saw here was details, like attention to all the fine print. So if you are looking at any sort of contractual signatures that you have to do this month, really make sure that you're looking at all the fine print before that, get a second set of eyes on it. And for whatever reason, there was a lot of attention to like the address or the location. So if you are sending out an invitation, for instance, make sure that everything is right, like the zipper postal code, maybe even, apartment or suite number or whatever it is. There was something where I saw confusion over an address. Super specific, but also something that I'll share because I'm the medium and I'm the messenger. I don't try to judge the messages that come through me. Let me see what else came through in dreams. The other thing here was that the word reveal keeps coming through here, and this wasn't dreams, but this is kind of coming through in live channeling. So with the reveal thing, this could be someone in your life that has an announcement. This could be part of that celebration, but there could also just sort of be what Spirit's showing me is like mask coming off. So someone that's opening up a little bit and showing a more vulnerable side, possibly even showing something that you may not want to see. But what's good about this is now you know what you're really dealing with here. And there's a chance now to either deepen a connection because of someone's honesty and vulnerability, or if someone is showing a side that you really don't care to see, now you know that this isn't worth the time and energy. So revealing in the best way possible, because it's revealing the truth, it's revealing the intention, and sometimes that's just what we have to embrace. When people show their true colors, the best thing to do is to accept, embrace, and then decide what you're going to do about that. So that's what I'm seeing here. Overall, I feel really good about the channeled messages, especially because of that incoming connection and potential celebration. So let's give the cards a shuffle now and see how that's going to play out in the month ahead. Take a moment, if you will, close your eyes, clear away any thoughts that you might be currently having, and just focus on the image of a blue sky. Imagine that as you're tuning into this, you see angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, and your own higher consciousness. Let's pull that forward now, and as you are feeling grounded and ready, open your eyes and let's begin. let's get everything set up here, and we're going to begin with your Catalyst card. You received a goddess here that is representative of new beginnings, a Germanic goddess, and actually the name is super close to Easter. It's interesting because we're right on the precipice in the northern hemisphere of fall, but actually, for those of you in the southern hemisphere, this aligns nicely. For everybody, though, we could connect this with two cards in tarot. So new beginnings could be the Fool, but also if we do a little bit of digging in and see that the animal that kind of connects with this goddess is the rabbit, it's also the Queen of Pentacles, because at the throne, at the foot of the throne, there's a little rabbit there. So this is a time to begin new things, plant new seeds, and we see a seasonal shift happening in your life. If you kind of look at the different eras in your life or seasons of your life, this could be something like getting ready to take a big step into or out of a relationship, starting or stopping school, beginning or ending a job, that kind of stuff. Really big, but in a way that you've been expecting and building up to. This is not a tower moment. This is a build up and release sort of moment. By and large, this is encouraging you to create some sort of a plan and figure out what the next step is going to be. So irrespective of which part of the planet we're on and whether it is spring or fall, it is a chance for that sort of portal energy to come forth. So let me ask you, Taurus, what is it that you're focusing on creating right now? Whatever it is, that should be the central focus. And as we look at the cards, we'll see where that could flourish and where there may be some challenges as well. So thanks to the Catalyst energy, beautiful image and beautiful message as well. I always like to take a quick look at the table and see what's in store here. I really love the boss energy, the divine feminine energy coming through right at the center. Lots of productive energy as well. We have love, we have resources, but there could be a chance here either for healing or just being kinder to yourself. So let's take it a card at a time. The only challenging card is the outcome. Everything building up to it looks pretty good. So I'm going to try to help you manage things a little bit better if we can. So that's something that you can avoid because that's the one position that you can control the most. All right, let's get started with your center card. We have the Queen of Wands coming through, one of the ultimate boss energies. So if there's anything in your life that requires movement and leadership and change, she can get it done. This is a chance also to really embrace your imagination and your ability to think beyond what was expected. So she's surprising in the best kind of ways. So if there is a chance for you to just follow your intuition and take a calculated risk in business, in love, in life in general, she's the kind of person that I would say go for it. All right, so that's the first message here. The other thing is the willingness to fight for what matters. So she's kind of pictured here a bit like a warrior, which I like because the next card is another card that can help you get what you want, strength. Let's take a moment to look at the traditional card. I think this actually does a much better job of describing the energy of strength than the updated version. So we can see here this woman opening up the mouth of the lion, and it takes care and time and effort to do this in a way that isn't going to create more problems for her. So we have a boss energy here showing leadership and inventiveness. Then we have this sort of precision and strength combined in this card. However, it takes a lot. It's not called strength for nothing. So it takes a lot of time, energy, and precision to continue to make this sort of desired outcome happen. So if you're in a relationship or a job where you're constantly having to pour in what we see in this illustration, the universe is asking you, is it worth the output? Because you're not maybe getting a return on that. It's just the equivalent of like emptying your battery, okay? So I would like to just kind of put that out there for some of you. You are capable of continuing something, but is it sustainable in the long run? Before we move on, let's take a look at the updated illustration. We see a butterfly or a moth representing change. So a change in this moment in time could be exactly what the doctor ordered. We also see the snake here representing hidden strength. And then we see a thistle, which is the flower of Scotland. And it's also a strong flower, a natural flower that you got to be careful with, right? So I actually think I totally understand what the illustrator was going after, because instead of the teeth there, we have the prickles on the thistle. So just like a rose has thorns. The message here, one last piece that's coming through, and then we'll get to the rest of the spread, is this is particularly for those of you in a job, but it could also be a relationship where someone's not doing their job. Try not to cover too much, or to, in the case of like a manager or superior, try not to manage up. Usually that comes back and bites you. The person will get defensive, or they feel like you're overreaching. Give them their space, give them room to fail and succeed on their own sort of ground, and that's going to save you a lot of time and energy in the long run. All right, let's get back into the spread here. Let me move the mic so we can see it. In the deep past here, one of the karmic lessons coming through is the ability to both speak up and also articulate what's going on. Don't be afraid to ask a question or use your voice. If you're looking to take action, now is the time, especially when we have this goddess of new beginnings and the Ace of Swords. It's reminding you that a simple word, a simple thought can launch a new path in your life. Putting it in writing, whether it's contract or just a plan, this is the time to do so. And this ace is upright. So it's basically the universe saying, here it is. Are you ready? And if you are ready, I feel like some really great doors could open up. But again, you got to walk the walk and talk the talk and really start to put action behind the ideas and the words. As we take a look here at your recent past, here we have the Chariot card in reverse. And this is basically the universe coming through and saying, be ready to answer the question, why? So someone may ask you, why did you do that? Or how did you come to this conclusion or this decision? They're testing to see if you're confident. They want to see if you know why you're steering the ship in the direction that you're steering it. By the way, I love that we have ox or bull on this card, nicely connected to Taurus. So be bold, be yourself, and don't be afraid. Sometimes it's simply because I wanted to. It felt right. Better yet, if you are ready to make some sort of presentation or declaration, make sure you did the homework and say, well, I'm glad you asked. I researched this, I talked to this person, and it's also what I want. Be solid, be factual, be concise, and take the reins. That's basically what this is all about. And again, there could just simply be some challenges when it comes to the tug of war that is decision making. Two very strong personalities, both sides wanting their way. And this card could also be about meeting in the middle. If you are steering the ship, you could find a place that's somewhere between where you want to be and where they want to be. And we see these two ox or bulls kind of going in opposite directions. And so I think one of the opportunities when it comes to your leadership capacity this month is really in helping people get aligned. So the fine art of compromise, but also of just being strong in your decision making. All of this is going to help. And hopefully by the end of the month, there'll be a little bit less of the tug of war. As we take a look at the crowning position here, we have the Knight of Swords. This is one of the fastest moving cards in the minor arcana, and it means that you're going to have a busy month. But if we look closely at this card, we have a beautiful eagle on this. And as long as you're willing to get a bird's eye view, to step back and get the big picture, you'll be successful. The traditional card has a much more hurried kind of energy to it, right? And when we look at this modern card, he's a little bit more measured, a little bit more clear on what he wants. So I think the clarity in how you're saying things, but also just how much time you've taken to believe it yourself. That's really what's going to make leadership possible, powerful, and something that you are not going to have to constantly struggle with is that clarity. And that's how we can also get you into the Chariot upright rather than reversed, okay? Prince of Swords, or the Knight of Swords, not afraid to speak up, not afraid to articulate something, either a wish, a desire, or a concern. And they're just clear, in and out. You don't have to spend a lot of time with this particular card. And I think one of your challenges this month could be in getting people to see, again, the overarching big picture, how everything is connected and might be benefiting everybody. Suffice it to say, communication is one of your best tools, and for some of you may be one of the biggest challenges, but once you master that, everything else starts to come into focus. Now, speaking of busy and speaking of things moving, in the near future, you have the Eight of Wands, and this is momentum, speed, productivity, and as the card says here, swiftness. Now, I love that this person is sort of in the line of fire and they're doing just fine. In fact, they're pushing back, they're pushing things to the left, to the right. Delegation is going to be part of this. Concentration is another thing. And as with any of the Wands cards, you can always do less, but do it better. So we could take this person from 8 of Wands back to something like 4 of Wands, partnership, 3 of Wands, deciding to travel or go the distance. The Ace or the 2 of Wands, taking an idea and sharing that. You don't have to do it all. So don't get lost in the shuffle and don't feel like you have to do everything. Slowing down and getting that sort of bird's eye view and clarity, again, I think is going to be the difference here that makes it or breaks it. 8 of Wands can also be an encouragement for you to make sure that people are working together and they're not just, as I'm looking at this card, putting energy in all these different directions. So focused, clear, and organized. That's what you're looking for in all things, whether it's relationships, work, or even just the way you're spending your time and energy. You've got a lot going on, so as long as you are cool with it and you are clear on all of that, you're going to be just fine. 9 of Wands in reverse. In fact, we're seeing progress. It could be faster or slower than you want. That explains the reversal. But 9 of Wands is one of the strongest cards in the minor arcana. It basically is the survivor. A lot of times you have to go through a difficult situation in order to know what you want, know what you don't want. Sometimes you just learn your strength. And I think that's really the big takeaway in the 9 of Wands. I'm looking for the traditional card while we're talking. One thing that you want to be careful of in this period of time is not putting too much mental pressure or emotional pressure on yourself. So in the traditional card, we can see that person looking to their, their right, and they're wondering like, is this over yet? When is this done? And I understand that that's a lot. What can happen sometimes is, again, mental fatigue, migraines, emotional things like just feeling defeated, not because you're not doing well, but just because it's a lot. So this is a great time to lean on the support and friends of others. Thankfully, we have 2 areas of support: an abundance of resources in the environment in the form of the 10 of Pentacles, and we have friends, family, and perhaps a loved one that can come through, that +1 that I was seeing in hopes, fears, and opportunities. So let's go ahead. Let's delve into the environment here. 10 of Pentacles. This is interesting here because we see the grounding energy that the 10 of Pentacles can supply. And that comes in the form of not just love, but also association. So for some of you, this can represent the strength that you get from an extracurricular activity or a sporting activity or some sort of a social outing, because all of those people around you, peers, colleagues, and the people that you spend time and energy with, they can be under the energy of the 10 of Pentacles. Now, as an environmental focal point, the 10 of Pentacles is also asking us to look at our financial foundation. This is a month where you may be asked to kind of dig into your savings a bit, because with the card in the reverse, it's like shaking the tree, trying to get the fruit. And so it's okay to do so. Make sure that you're talking it out with partners, and also I would say experts in your life, whether that's a legal or financial expert, and not acting too hastily with the Knight in the crowning position. Sometimes our eyes are bigger than our wallet, or we act impulsively. So I would say on any major purchase decision or financial shift, make sure that you are giving it adequate time and not rushing. In hopes, fears, and opportunities, we have the Lovers. The Lovers card is reversed. There could be unexpected partnership coming through. There could be something at the most inconvenient time, but it's like, that's the person I've been looking for, or that's the connection I've been waiting for. So meet someone where they are, even if the timing seems a little bit weird. If it feels right, if you feel the connection, now is the time. Because I did see a +1, I did see a gathering. 10 of Pentacles could be a work gathering. And so this is a chance to, again, perhaps meet someone that you weren't expecting to meet. Sometimes this comes after we've written off the possibility for new friendship, for new love, for new partnership. But nonetheless, it comes knocking. The Lovers card in reverse can also be pressure. So we have 2 cards of pressure that could be kind of creating what we see here in the outcome. So 10 of Pentacles is pressure from peer connections, from coworkers, for those of you in school, it could be your classmates, but it's people that expect stuff from you. Also family, because family, it's kind of like a blood connection here. The Lovers card could be the person that you know the best, also putting that pressure on you. And then you just feel like, I can't make everyone happy. You don't have to. That's the key to success here with the 10 of Swords is you don't have to do this. You don't have to, say yes to every invitation, do everything that people expect you to do. You don't have to be perfect. All you have to do is follow your heart and do the best that you can in any given situation. I've said this multiple times this month, but as long as you are learning, any perceived setback can't be viewed through the lens of failure. Failure is only ignoring, an experience and not growing from it. We almost invariably, 99.9% of the times, we grow from something. And kind of fast forward to the end, we have a starfish card here showing the ability to heal and rebound, because if one of the limbs is severed on a starfish, it can grow it back. So you have a chance right now to rebound. See yourself as resilient. All the stuff that we've seen so far, as a strong leader, as a strong human, as a capable person that's able to bring things forward, and then let some of this other stuff go. You're never going to be able to make everybody happy. Today and this month ahead, focus on being happy yourself. As you start to love and accept yourself, you're going to flip this and pull people in that do the same. People that can see you, celebrate you, and embrace you with unconditional love. And as you start to value yourself, others will do the same as well, okay? So that's what I see in the main spread here, and I see this Ten of Swords mostly being a card where you're putting pressure on yourself. We'll look at health in a few moments, but of course, this can also have to do with chronic pain or fatigue or burnout. So with respect to all of that, listen to yourself. Take a break if you need to. You've earned it. Let's go ahead and expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to start off first with your health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. You actually got two cards here as I'm looking at health. The first one is Earth Angel. The other one is Dream a little bit. The cards are reversed. So one of the first messages coming through for some of you is this feeling like, again, it could have come from childhood. It could be just recently where someone shot down an idea or a dream. So here are the two cards. Let's go to the one beneath it, because I feel like this is the root or the sort of foundational cause of some of the challenges. Dream a little. Remember what I said about your center card, the Queen of Wands. She is imaginative. She's able to fight for her ideas. And she has the strength, which we saw here in the courage, to say, you know what? You may not like it, but I do. I'm going to go for this. So for those of you that are entrepreneurial, we're not even looking at business, but it's coming through here in health. If there's something that you really feel good about, this is the time to follow through on it. And this card also reminds you of the importance of having a creative outlet in your life. Whatever allows you to daydream, whatever ignites your passion, your heart. And this can be things as artistic as dance, but it can also be something that is just fun for you. It could be any task. So it could be a sport. Some people find golfing fun. It could also be learning something new, maybe a new language because you want to travel. You could be maybe taking care of a part of yourself where you've always wanted to learn something because it's a passion, like writing. So dance, sports, writing, or just anything, engaging with other people that kind of creates that sense of this is fun, this is me, allowing myself to step out of my traditional version of myself into something new. This could also be the mask that I was seeing. You could just be taking the mask off and saying, I want to show who I truly am. Or you could say, I want to try this on for size to see if I've been limiting myself by one way of being or acting. So give yourself a chance. By the way, I just mentioned it there. Thank you, Spirit, acting. So it could also be something like that where you're allowing yourself to just put yourself in someone else's shoes or experience life in a different way. Don't limit yourself. Someone else may have done it. Someone else may not have given you permission to have fun. But on this channel, we really encourage that kind of imaginative energy. And the Earth Angel in reverse doesn't necessarily have to be bad. This could actually be about not being so rigid, not being so planted or stuck in one way of thinking or being. Yes, there are areas in your life maybe where you need to focus on grounding. We saw the finances may be the main focal point there. But aside from that, it's an angel coming through saying, hey, how about if you look at it from this perspective? How about if you're not so practical? Practicality is totally overrated. It limits our ability to see possibilities. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you're too practical, if it's only what you can see in front of you, then the things that are subtle, the things that have yet to be sort of created by you, they're harder to reach. So open your heart, open your mind, and see what's out there. All right, let's go ahead and look at the rest of the messages here with respect to health. You know, again, this is way in the extended forecast here, but as we're looking at the starfish, there's an opportunity for healing. And for some of you, this is really auspicious because the Ten of Swords can represent a challenge with health. It could be, for some of you, an injury. It could be a wound, a heart, basically your sort of like emotions. So a breakup, for instance, or an argument. And for many of you, this is what's going on in the heart space, which is just the processing of emotions, the sadness. And this is the promise that after the Tower comes the Star, or after the Ten of Swords comes that beautiful blossoming and recovery energy as well. So take time and trust that this too will pass and can heal. And that's what I'm already seeing here in the spread. All right, let me just take a look at all of this and see what else I want to highlight here. The Strength card crossing all of these. So Chariot, which is leadership, Queen of Wands, which is, again, your creative energy, your passion, and your leadership, and Eight of Wands, keeping the pace with all of this. It's all going to either be made or broken with your general health and well-being. So now more than ever, it's important to get ample rest. It's important to eat well, to exercise. And if it's been a minute or two since you've gone to the doctor, to make sure that you're not neglecting your general health and specifically what's going on in your body. So definitely speak with professionals when necessary on this. It's a chance to make a new beginning. By the way, this is a birthing card because I mentioned there's usually a rabbit associated with this goddess. So for some of you, if you're getting ready to have a baby, this is prenatal vitamins and also just getting the rest that you need now, because you know later that rest isn't going to be there. So definitely I get the vibe of new families here for some of you. Okay, let me see what else is coming through. Too much travel. Some of you have been either, I mean, it may be a part of your job. So for those of you that like ride cargo vehicles or carry mail or perhaps even are in construction and a big part of what you're doing is like hauling materials using a car or vehicle, take your time, slow down, make sure you're getting enough rest. We don't want the Chariot and the Ten of Swords to come together. So that's just like a mistake due to a lack of sleep and rest. Let's see. Other than that, the other thing that's coming through in the Nine of Wands, I talked about this before. It can be headaches, migraines, and sometimes just stress, the mental stress that can then lead to an argument or outburst or burnout. And really that's the final cautionary note here. The Ten of Swords can represent the pressure that we put on ourselves, burning the candle at both ends, sometimes taking criticism or feedback way too much to heart, and then that just kind of manifests in physical pain or discomfort. So take care of yourself, say no, don't overwork, and in doing so, you're going to allow yourself to have the strength to sustain over time. If there is any chronic pain or fatigue, obviously you'll want to get that taken care of sooner than later. Typically, this is in the neck and the back. Okay, let's go ahead now and move on from health to wealth. Your resources, your life purpose, and your career. Let's see what's in the Oracle card here. So we have, thank you, universe. I love it when it's beautifully synchronistic. It says, build in breaks, saunter slowly. Okay, I love this deck, but they definitely try to give me tongue twisters every single time. So take a break and have some fun. And slow and steady wins the race is how I would sort of phrase this. Beautiful energy associated with the upper chakras, especially the crown. Giving your brain a break, I think, is the most important thing, because I know I get there sometimes. There are, like, in a given day, there's a reason that I pace myself and take a full month to do the videos. I can only do so much creative or intuitive energy. Sometimes if I have to, I can do a couple of readings, but I could not do more than 2 at the current length and quality that I do it, like 2 full-length ones, because my brain stops working. My mouth won't follow. So I can do 1 full-length, 1 short. I'm like, that's good. That's perfect. 2 in a pinch. And if I had to do 3 or 4, I wouldn't even be able to communicate at the end of that. So know what your limits are. What happens here is that sometimes there are diminishing returns, increased possibility for mistakes or injury, or just things being harder than they need to be. So slow and steady with necessary breaks. I haven't yet found a way to set this up so Apollo can be seen. He's currently on the other side here, but he's my little blessing because even when I'm recording videos like this, he'll come over and say, Dad, it's time for a break. Let's go walk. So take walks. I have to take at least 5 with Apollo, and that helps me. That helps keep the circulation going. It helps me clear my head. A lot of times when I come back from that walk, I have an idea of what I want to do next, or if I was blocked on something, I'm no longer blocked. So for those of you that have kids or dogs, you know what I'm talking about, or cats, you have to take breaks. But even if you don't, take a break. Like right after this reading. Finish the reading first and then take the break, okay? Or walk with me. Put me on your headphones and take a walk and listen as I'm talking. Okay, let's break this down into 3 major categories. We're going to look at those that have a job, including entrepreneurs. Then we'll take a look at those that are seeking employment, and then we're going to look at students and retirees. For those that are currently employed in a traditional 9-to-5, let's look at that first. I just get the fatigue, which we talked about and which the Oracle card is highlighting here. So slow and steady, and less is more, which we talked about also with the 8 of Wands. I have full faith in you this month with the Knight of Swords and the 8 of Wands that you can have a productive month and you can keep on top of it. The things that are making it difficult for you, sometimes it's just you. Perfectionism does not have a place at the table right now. There's too much going on, and you really need to focus on just doing the best that you can in any given day, and the next day is a reset. Every day is a reset. I actually feel like there's a lot of love and support, and sometimes there's pressure because of that, because you want to perform and make these people happy. That's kind of what I'm picking up on with this. And because you've done so well, people put more on your plate. You know when enough is enough. Make sure that you let them know too, because they're going to respect that. That's part of good leadership, is saying enough is enough. Some of you just started a new job, or and we're looking at that, or some of you have something new going on in your life. Find the proper balance here so that you're not pulled too thin. Your communication skills are better than you think, so just speak up more. Again, it's not the quantity, but rather the quality. So say less, but say a lot in those few words. That's what I'm getting from this. And if you are in a position where someone's putting way too much on your plate, just let them know. Say, I know you want me to do all of that, but it's not feasible. Here's what I can do. What would you like to take off my plate? Here's what I suggest. Do you agree? At the end of the day, I want you to remember what we talked about earlier with the Strength card. It's basically about diminishing returns. You don't need to manage up and do someone else's job. State what it is that you want and see if they'll listen. I think that the biggest challenge this month is that there are just different opinions on how to lead. Strength and Queen of Wands, they both think that they're right. And maybe they both have equal and valid ways, but maybe one person's in a decision-making role. In this situation, pick your battles well. You want to lead with love. You want to lead with facts. You want to avoid emotion-based sort of outbursts, and in doing so, you'll succeed. But there is a possibility here that if it's sort of like both of you just keep thinking it's my way, then an argument could happen. That's the only tripping point that I see, because the rest of the cards are pretty good. Otherwise, I think this is just burnout and putting too much pressure on yourself, so avoid that. I'd like to quickly shift gears for those of you that are entrepreneurs. Here we have Esther or Easter here with the new beginnings energy, and this is a perfect time to launch something. Finally, we're out of retrograde, so now you are primed up to successfully do something. I don't think you have to do this alone. We have partnering energy here and here, so find the right teammate. Everything that I just talked about for those in a current job applies to you as well. Make sure that whoever it is that you hire or partner with is in alignment vision-wise with you. And if not, then that's not the right partner. So obviously vet that out before you get started. When it comes to, this is a really good card here for those of you that own a business here. 8 of Wands shows consistent, predictable, like orders and business and customer interest. So I think your biggest challenge right now could simply be in keeping up with the demand. One last note for entrepreneurs: don't shortcut QA, quality assurance, and quality control. Make sure that things have been pressure tested accordingly, and that's not where you want to do a shortcut, okay? Now let's take a look at those of you that are looking for a job. The biggest challenge is this feeling that it's burnout from the job sort of like applying process, the applications, and sometimes from the rejection. The good news here, though, is we do see a new beginning card. We do have a 10 of Pentacles in the environment, and we do have a contract signature card here. So it just may not happen immediately, but it's happening. We have a 8 and 9, so 8 or 9 sort of like days into the month. So it could be like a week and a half, even from when you're watching this. Give yourself some time here. The Prince of Swords is also looking at it from a different perspective. So making sure that you aren't sort of like razor focused on one exact company or geographical location. The broader you can go, the more you're looking at, the more you might be able to pinpoint something that works for you. There also is just a call to maybe go independent for some of you here with the Strength card and the Queen of Wands. These are very entrepreneurial. So what we were just talking about, you may decide to start your own business or start a partnership up, and that also looks very favorable. I like what I see with the Ten of Pentacles. So if we're going to look at a card here for compensation, it looks pretty good. And there are a lot of cards here of leadership. If you're the type of person that never saw yourself in a leadership role, this is a month maybe to stretch out a little bit and go for it. It may be a little bit more than you thought. You know, there's a learning curve with this, but I actually feel like you're capable of doing it. So also keep that into consideration. But I am getting 8s and 9s here, so 8 or 9 days from the day that you see this. It could take a little bit longer than expected, okay? And also take a moment to just fine-tune. Less is more when it comes to what you're putting into your resume, portfolio, CV, or presentation. Just make sure, remember we were talking about that too. Also, how you're presenting yourself matters. For job seekers, this is really, really important. Do your homework. You don't want to come too dressed or too casual. I actually, a long time ago, I actually had an interview at a big tech company, and I was overdressed, and they said, "We love you. Great first interview. We'd like you to come back, dress down for the next interview." I've never been asked to dress down, but I obviously did. And I wore something much more like I'm wearing on my YouTube videos, just to kind of like be more comfortable. And they said, "Okay, that's better. Now let's have a conversation." So, you know, that was very much at the beginning of my career. And now I would do the homework and make sure I knew how to show up. So don't overdress, don't underdress. Find that just right, and you're going to be okay. All right, so now looking at those of you that are students, I actually really love it for students right now. I feel like I like the mix of teachers, and I like the extracurriculars, and I like everything that's going on. The one thing to be mindful of here is the pressure you're putting on yourself. And this has been almost universal this month, but this is burnout. Either you're pushing yourself too much to please family or to compete with peers. And the important thing here is to just focus on what you need and want. And the Eight of Wands helps you get there. I almost feel like it's like a 20% less. Whatever it is that you're doing, a little bit less in extracurricular. If you've already signed up for classes and can't drop, okay, something has to give. So whether it's sports, extracurricular, or if you can still withdraw from one of the classes, great. Just allowing yourself time to breathe is going to be better because you'll be able to absorb things better. You're just a little overextended, and that's what I see there. For those of you that are retired, the most important thing right now, I feel like, is to take care of your health. It could have been something that you've been in the past bad about doing because you give a lot to family, because you used to work really hard, because you have a lot of activities going on. I'm encouraging you to take several steps back and focus on your physical health, allowing for creative outlets, and really getting better rest. And if there is anything going on that needs to be taken care of, whether it's an elective surgery or something else, please take care of that right now. On the flip side, if everything else is good, I feel like you might be, again, a little overcommitted on the social side here with the lovers, okay? Speaking of which, let's go ahead and take a look at love. This is going to help us understand what kind of energy is coming through in all types of relationships. And in love, we have breath, taking a deep breath. And so the force energy is rich with growth, but it's important to have your breathing space. You may be so close with someone right now that it's just sort of like you don't know where you end and they begin. That's not healthy. You may be in a family that is so in your business that you feel like, I just need a moment to breathe. So now we're looking at relationships, but a health message is coming through. Exercise, meditation, and sleep. Also, Having space to yourself is important. Figuring out how to communicate the desire for privacy and space will also be really integral in your general happiness and well-being. Let's look at this in 3 major categories. Those of you in a relationship, looking for love, or happily single. If you're in a relationship, you might be on the heels of an argument. It's the first thing that I see here. I think there's a lot of love and support, and it feels like there's general good communication skills here, so just talk it out. Even the best of relationships can have a fight. Fights can actually be something that can be productive because you know where one another stands. Keep it constructive. Don't kind of go into a place where it's no longer something that uplifts. Get back into the energy of love and something that's grounded in how you can improve rather than just throwing, barbs at one another. It might be time to shake things up and try something new in a relationship, and that definitely is coming through front and center with the New Beginnings card. Again, some of you may simply be tired because there's been an extension to the family. If you just gave birth to a child, it takes time for your body to recover. Give yourself time. And even if you're not the one who birthed the child, but it's just like you're burned out, I get it. The good news is there's really no other troubling cards here except the fatigue or burnout energy, so I do feel like it's something you can manage, or the argument. It's about moving beyond that and elevating it, coming back together. Strong energy, stubbornness, lots of stubborn energy coming through this month. You get that as Taurus, but I'm seeing it from both sides, so there has to be kind of a backing down or a finding the middle ground so that it doesn't elevate too much. On the bright side, it looks like there might be cause to celebrate. If we go back into my channeled messages, I saw a party. I think it's important to say yes to these sorts of things because I feel like you could also meet new people, even as a couple, maybe another couple that you really get along with, and then now you've got something new to connect with rather than one another, because we need that breathing space. It might be time for a girl or guy's night out as well. So whatever you need to create space this month, please do it. I feel like you can because we have the Knight of Swords. Just slow down long enough to listen, okay? And that's everything. For those of you that are looking for love this month, can you find it? Yes, we've got the lovers here in hopes, fears, and opportunities. I think, though, there is kind of a general reality check here. Some of you are dealing with a fear of rejection, and you don't want to enter into relationships with, it could be too soon. Let's put it that way. You might be rebounding. Or you may feel that this can also be self-deprecating energy, not thinking enough about the positive that you're bringing. So be more affirmative and positive about who you are and what you have to offer. There is a desire by one or both parties to get serious. And I think the important thing here is slow down long enough to make sure that you know who you're connecting with. So pace yourself. That's what I see most importantly. There could be blended families as well. And that's something that can take time. It's not always going to be perfect at the beginning. But all of that being said, yes, you can find new love and new connections this month. And it is through mixing and mingling. And I think it's business and also friends that can help you. So it could be an office party or it could be a celebration with friends. Some sort of public gathering is what I was seeing here. We have a lot of different types of energy. We have air signs, we have fire signs, we have perhaps a Leo coming through. There's a lot. I think the main thing here is discernment and clarity. What is it you're looking for? Because I don't see a lack of options. If you're looking for variety, we've got it. If you're looking for specificity, I feel like there's an opportunity to slow down a little bit and not say yes to everything or the first thing that comes across your plate. Make sure that there's truly that spark, okay? If you're happily single right now, good for you. I think this is a great time for you to focus on growing your finances, making and really kind of developing core friendships in your life, and physical health improvements and mental health improvements. That's where the main focus is taking us. Let's move on now to the Destiny card. We have a starfish, but it's also like a symbol for the star. So this is a time to reach higher, to focus on the healing energy that I mentioned. Sea stars or starfish have the ability to grow back appendages. So if there's something that you lost, if there's something that you feel like you wish you had a second chance at, the starfish says it's never too late. And again, being a symbol of a star itself, it's saying authentic energy. This is a time to truly resonate and exist in that sort of energy of authenticity. When you are your true self and people reject that, They're not ready for you, and you deserve better. If you feel like you constantly have to mute your light or change who you are, that's not what you need to be focusing on, whether it's work, friend, or love energy. Find someone in that same star quality, okay? Let's go ahead now and take a deeper dive looking at sun, rising, and moon sign messages, see what Spirit has to say. Sun, rising, and moon. As we take a look at the sun sign message, we have the Emperor coming through, reminding you that you're never too old, you're never too young to what? To make some sort of a new change or beginning as we look at Esther or Easter. So the other thing here with the Emperor card is take charge, take control. We have Strength, Queen of Wands, the Chariot, and now the Emperor. So this is a time where your leadership capabilities are really being highlighted. The question here is if you believe in yourself. I love the little bees right by the Emperor as well. So one of the things here is to allow yourself to delegate, because it doesn't have to like literally or face value be a leader, but what it can mean in your life is, I'm going to focus on this. Can you help me with this? Can I trust you to take care of that? You delegate it, you let someone do it, and you're then the queen bee, even though we have divine masculine here. So it's about taking charge, helping others kind of see what they can do, and then freeing yourself up to once more look at the big picture. So it's a nice culmination, a nice summary card of everything that we just talked about, and it should be because we're looking at sun, but you've got what it takes, okay? One of the ultimate power cards in the major arcana. Now let's focus on rising. So the moon card came through here showing you that you have the capacity to face and overcome your fears, also to really create some the word synergy, it's so corporate, but the word synergy is coming through. You can find a way to get people to cooperate, collaborate, possibly even mend some bridges if you want to. The other thing here is highly creative and very nurturing, and divine feminine energy once more. So birthing, again, is coming through here. If you want to start something new, now is the time to lean into that creative energy. Releasing fear and just going for it is the big takeaway, though, for rising sign. If you can see it, if you believe it, fight for it. That's something we talked about at the beginning of this, so don't be afraid to fight and go the distance. Looking at moon sign, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. Don't rush. I mentioned before, for those of you that were creating something, whether it's a product, service, or something else, the Ten of Swords can represent an avoidable mistake or mishap simply by having quality control and quality assurance. But this also goes for you. Just don't push yourself to the point of fatigue or exhaustion. Look at things from a new perspective. Explore all options, even the ones that you thought maybe, oh, that's not going to work or that doesn't make sense. Just give it a shot. Look at it. Slow down, be present in this moment in time, at least for the next 24 hours. Don't make any hasty movements. Give yourself a chance to sleep and consider and research, and you'll be happy that you did. Now is a chance for one last question, anything that you might still need guidance on. Close your eyes, allow your spirit guides to come through on this, and let's see what the advice is. So for your final question, we have a really good card that came through. We have the Ten of Wands. This represents completion. And notice in this particular illustration how she is unburdened and unbothered by how much is kind of happening right now. The traditional Ten of Wands shows someone that's carrying a heavy load, but they're a little worse for the wear. And what I like about what we just saw is that she is keeping things in exactly the right place. And she's like, I'm so close to the finish line. Let's just do this. And I really embrace that. I'm finding the traditional card while we talk here. The other thing with the Ten of Wands is to focus on self-care, because it can lead to the Ten of Swords if you're carrying too much emotional or literal weight, like, you know, through a move, for example, this can lead to some sort of an injury. So what she's doing here is balancing the load a lot better. Can you see the difference in those two cards? He's not even carrying it the right way. He's not bending at the knees or anything. He's just kind of being pulled forward. So she's basically making smarter decisions on how to move forward, and she's not letting too much expectation get in her way, too much pressure. She's taken it one step, one breath, one day at a time, and I think that's the best thing here. As a yes or no, it's a yes, and you're very close to getting what you want. I hope that this helped you. It was my honor, my pleasure to be here, to be the medium, and to deliver the messages. So if you did like this, there's a simple way to show love. Just hit the like button if you haven't already. Liking the video is really important. Also subscribing if you've never done so. It helps other people find the channel, and it lets me know that this was a really impactful video. Thank you to everybody that's been a long-time subscriber. I see you, I appreciate you. You can also follow me on social media. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all major platforms. There's currently an imposter on TikTok, so be aware. I'm not gonna offer private readings or send messages or leave comments asking you to click links and things like that. That's spammy behavior, so be aware of that. Unfortunately, you see it everywhere, so if you ever need confirmation on, the real deal, go to my website or go to the main channel page here. All the links to social media are listed there. If you'd like to give back and show support, you can do it here through YouTube via a super sticker, super chat, or membership. All of these basically give right back to the channel. It allows me to continue to buy new equipment, new cards, and produce more videos just like this. And that's everything, folks. I want to end with gratitude. Thank you for being the best part of what I do on YouTube. Thanks for showing up and allowing me to spend some time with you every month, every day. Check out my daily and monthly, or well, you're looking at the monthly, my daily and weekly videos as well. They're all on the main channel page. Wishing you all the best now and always. Take special care.